Hey everybody, it's Chris with Life 180, and for this video I want to talk about a question that I get a lot, and that is whole life insurance a good investment? Now, if you've watched my video, you know that I'm a big believer in the power of whole life insurance. However, I don't think whole life insurance is a good investment. Now, I know that may confuse you, but let me explain. First of all, a lot of people come to me, and when they're considering using whole life insurance as an asset, they contemplate and they do a lot of research, and they go between, should I do whole life insurance? Should I do index universal life insurance? I've got a lot of videos that are going to be coming out over the next several weeks that are going to be talking about that specific fact, and some videos that are going to be talking about people that are specifically marketing index universal life and doing it in what I believe is an unethical way. And they're doing it to ultimately sell it in a way that it's not meant to be sold ultimately. And they're not giving the full picture of what index universal life actually does for people. And so therefore, I just felt compelled to create videos on that. So just be on the lookout for that. If you think you're gonna be interested in seeing that, make sure you look down below, you hit the subscribe button, click the bell, that way you get notified, because this is gonna be some amazing content that you're gonna get over the next couple of weeks on that topic specifically. So back to the topic here. Is whole life insurance a good investment? Well, here's the deal. This is my belief. I'm a big believer whole life insurance is actually not an investment. It's not a good investment, first of all, and it's not an investment. Here's why. If you look at the classic functions of an investment and the classic behavior of an investment, well, an investment has a rate of return. Okay, so does a whole life policy. So that's about where the commonalities between the two end. Typically, when you invest in something, you don't have a liquidity of that money in the same way. Now, I know there's some accounts that you do, but the liquidity typically isn't the same, especially the way that most Americans invest in qualified accounts. You tie up your money, you put it in a tax-deferred basis, and that money gets locked up until later in life. You can't access it penalty-free until you hit 59 and a half. And whole life insurance, you can actually access your capital 100% of the way through there. Now, I know, once again, that there are some investments you can do that with as well, but for the most part, most people, the bulk of most people's investments in the United States go into qualified accounts, and so I just wanted to make that comparison on that front. Now, secondly, and I think most importantly, when you look at investments entail risk, right? So when you invest in something, there's going to be an element of risk that goes along with that investment. If you're going after a higher return, it's that old phrase, the higher the risk, the higher the reward, right? So if you want to get an 8% return, well, there's a certain risk for that. If you want to get a more guaranteed return, you're going to be down in the bond rate, which right now is 2 to 4% in that range, depending on, 10-year bonds right now are under 2% right now, which is just disgusting. It's lower than inflation. That means if you were to buy a 10-year bond right now, you're going to lose money. You're going to lose purchasing power with that money over a 10-year period, virtually on a guaranteed basis. It's insane. I don't know why anybody would ever put their money there, but the bottom line is that's what people are doing. You put your money in a savings account, you lose access, or you basically are losing money, losing purchasing power to inflation over a longer period of time. And so I think that's really, really important to understand. And so here's what I want to say. Whole life insurance is not a great investment, but what it is an amazing storage vehicle. I think people get it all wrong. So I'm a big believer, if you have followed any of my content, I'm a big believer that we need to be saving before we invest. I think one of the things, if you haven't watched it already, I did a video called the Life 180 Pyramid Talk. The Life 180 Pyramid Talk is simply talking about the fact that we live in this world right now where people are investing before they're saving, and when you invest before you save, you're actually exposing yourself to more risk than you should be taking on in your financial life, because it's about financial structure. If you go look at the financial pyramid and how CFPs are trained, certified financial planners are trained to structure people's financial lives, it starts with a financial pyramid, and at the bottom of that pyramid, the base of the pyramid, is having the right insurances, having the right protection, the right amount of savings, and having a whole savings platform before you start to invest. And then when you invest, you start to invest in medium risk stuff, some stuff that you maybe don't need liquidity of in short term, but you might need liquidity of in a medium term. And then the higher risk stuff, which is what most people are putting their money in with mutual funds and target date funds and stuff like that, they're putting that money in the high risk, which is you shouldn't even put your money in there until you have the bottom of the pyramid filled out first. The problem is most people get a job, they don't save a lot of money, they view their retirement savings as savings. They view their 401k in a lot of situations as an emergency account because you can access it in most situations if you need to. Granted, you're going to have to pay taxes and penalty to gain access to it, which is kind of disgusting. The fact that $14 billion was paid just in penalty. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It was $14 billion in taxes and $7 billion in penalty just to access people's money in a 401k in 2015 alone. That's kind of disgusting to me that people are paying $7 billion in penalties just to access their qualified accounts early. So when you take that into consideration, that I think is a big problem. So whole life insurance as a whole is not an investment. What it is, it's a banking alternative. We call it, if you've watched any of the videos I've done with Caleb Williams, he wrote a great book, and it's actually right here. I got it on my desk. It's called The And Asset. The reason it's called The And Asset is because a whole life insurance policy on its own is not an investment. It is simply a storage vehicle that is going to make every investment that you do more efficient, more effective. It's basically the foundation to your financial life that is going to give you a system, I should say, that's going to enable you to make every decision you make more powerful around your money. It's going to make your financial life more efficient. And what happens is when you enable your life to be more efficient financially, it puts you in a position so you don't have to be chasing returns. You don't have to be going after 8-10% returns. If you could figure out a way that you could recapture money that you're losing unknowingly, unnecessarily, and recapture that wealth, never interrupt the compounding of the wealth as you buy your houses, as you buy investments. If you had a place where if you wanted to buy Bitcoin or real estate or even invest in stocks or day trade, whatever your thing is, whatever your specific skill of expertise is or area of expertise is, you can do all that. It's called the And Asset because if you funnel and channel everything through a whole life insurance policy, it can all be done efficiently, right? Now, here's why I love whole life insurance and why I don't like index universal life, because I don't believe any insurance product should be viewed as an investment. The way index universal life policies are sold is that they are an investment because you have upside potential, you have downside protection, and they're really missold. Like I said, I'm going to have a lot of videos coming out on this in the future here in the next couple of weeks, but the bottom line is this: you should not be looking at your insurance policy as the investment vehicle in itself. I'm a big believer, if you want to create anything significant in life, you have to take risk. It's funny because I have probably the biggest risk tolerance of any single person I know. Go ask my wife. It's crazy. I'm all about starting businesses, investing money, doing crazy things with my own money. And I do it, but I do it strategically, and I make sure that, when I do it, I have my money set up in the right way. But here's the bottom line. I'm also, even though I have a crazy risk tolerance, I'm a big believer in whole life insurance because if I'm going to take risk, I want to take risk in something that I understand and that I can control, that I'm going to have direct control in the results of, or I'm investing in something that I have a deep, intimate understanding about. Now, that's not my whole life policy. That's not my index universal life policy. There's so many moving parts in an index universal life policy, whereas a whole life policy, if you set it up and structure it and design it properly and you commit to a saving strategy inside and through your whole life policy, you're never going to get hurt because it's guaranteed and you can see what it's going to be after a period of time on a guaranteed basis. And I know that if you look at that, it's a livable number for people, and it can actually get better than that. But the problem is with an index universal life policy, you look at the guarantees and then you look at the illustrated value, the potential of the growth of the policy, and you realize that the only thing guaranteed in the IUL illustration is the fact that the assumptions, the assumed rate of return is guaranteed to never come to fruition. And if the thing that drives me crazy is IUL agents look at the guaranteed column and they just tell people not to worry about them. But guess what? That guaranteed column exists for a reason. And so I really want to caution everybody to that. So what I would say is insurance in general should never be viewed as an investment. It's a great storage vehicle. It's an amazing asset. It is the and asset that should make everything that you do in your financial life better. I do believe it should be a financial foundation, but you can't look at it as an investment. You have to look at it as a banking alternative, something where you would keep your rainy day fund in eventually, something that you want to make sure that if you want to have capital to be able to invest in real estate, to be able to do day trading, to be able to buy Bitcoin, to any of that stuff, if you're trading, like I would literally funnel everything through a whole life policy when done properly. It's just going to make your life infinitely more effective. And we will go, and I promise you, if you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to make your life more efficient. That's going to help you recapture money that you would otherwise be losing unnecessarily. And when you do that, now you don't have to go out and chase higher returns in other areas of your life. So it enables you to make better, more sound financial decisions as a whole. So anyway, I hope that helps. I hope it serves you. If you have any questions at all, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I'd love to engage with you, answer your questions. Make any other videos. If you have any requests, I'm happy to do so. I love creating this content. So once again, if you found value in this, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click the bell. That way you get notified as I'm releasing all these awesome videos that are coming out. And anyway, yeah, I hope that serves you. I hope this video finds you well. I hope you have a blessed, inspirational day. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care.